How are you today? It's Melissa with Hang In There. I am grateful to all of you listening right now. Thank you for helping us spread our message. To anyone feeling hopeless today, we extend hope. To those of you who face the holidays with dread instead of joy, or who hope for wonder in your children's eyes but see worry and uncertainty, please hear this. I understand, and I am so incredibly sorry. To anyone who is alone this holiday season, grieving the relationship you should have had rather than the one you lived through, I want you to know that healing comes. Slowly but surely. Keep going. You deserve so much better than the pain you endured. Stay steady. Real love, gentle, safe, and honest, will find you. To everyone who has escaped, you are inspirational, and may you heal. To all who have been abused or are currently living through it, along with everyone who has been affected by abuse, we fight for you, and we understand. You are not alone anymore. Your curling iron is plugged into the wall, warming the tiny bathroom you're in, somehow helping it feel very safe, even cozy. The door was closed as you were trying to enjoy a few quiet minutes in that small space alone. That day, you were planning to see extended family living nearby for the holiday. You were excited and possibly used that outing as an excuse to dress up. Actually taking time to fix your hair and put on a little makeup? It was risky. But maybe the holiday and the fact that you were leaving the house would justify taking a little time for yourself. And maybe he'd believe you were just trying to look nice for him. You had tended to the kids. They were old enough to get dressed and play on their own. They were nearby, watching TV, well-behaved and quiet. You went on about your business. It felt so good to take care of yourself, and you liked how you looked. You took slow and steady breaths, trying to hold on to that tiny moment of peace in the bathroom, hoping he would be in a good mood, hoping he'd leave you alone, breathing. But that moment ended abruptly. It was almost stolen from you in an instant before you really got the chance to enjoy it. You scolded yourself in your mind. It had been too quiet. There was too much time taken for you, and you knew better. You didn't move fast enough, and you pushed too far, dressed up a little too much, put on just a bit too much makeup. You'd broken one of the unspoken rules. You looked a little too nice for his comfort. The stare, the silence. You brace yourself. You can feel it coming, the shift, the scrutiny. Then the questions begin, the same ones you've learned to expect. But on days when you're seeing family, they cut deeper. They aim straight at your character. Are you getting this dressed up for my brother? You really want attention, don't you? Who are you trying to impress? You really just wanted to feel like your own person. You wanted to feel alive. You only wanted to look nice for yourself, and now the joy was just sucked out of it. Was it worth it? Was it really worth the fight? You became quiet in response to the comments and questions. You felt betrayed and felt defensive. You wanted to scream and explain that you did not want his brother's attention, that you did not want anyone's attention, actually. You only wanted to feel human, whole. But you were too quiet. You were no longer a person. You were condescending, rude. You were acting like a B word. Now it was time to pay. The price? A lecture aimed to put you back in your place. You were selfish. The kids needed you. You were taking too much time, and for what? Why did you need to take time to get ready at all? It was just family. Maybe you shouldn't go. Maybe he'd just take the kids and go without you. Panic sets in, but you can't show it. You don't want to scare the kids, and you do not want him to know just how much his taking the kids terrifies you. Your babies look at you for reassurance, their little faces pleading with you to just hurry, come with, fix it fast. You cannot let this happen. Why did you push it so far? You knew better. Maybe you were selfish. This could have been avoided if you hadn't looked so nice. You immediately stop. You give the conversation your full attention now. You'll do anything. You will change clothes, put on sweatpants. You will put your hair in a ponytail. You will remove the makeup. You don't care. It is not about you. It's about your children. And you would do anything for them. But you haven't responded fast enough, entirely enough, or correctly, whatever correct was in that moment. And your precious children, they've heard all of it. They are old enough to feel the anxiety and understand the message. Nothing was ever hidden or kept quiet. Nothing was filtered because they were nearby. There was never a need to hide the horrific words spoken to you. It felt as if those words were meant to humiliate you in front of your children. And they did, every time. You are in survival mode. You need to think fast, but your mind won't cooperate. Nothing about the situation feels safe. You know that if you agree with everything he says, your children will learn that you bow down to him, silent, small, controllable, and that is not what you want to teach them. But if you argue too much, you might start something dangerous. You could spend the entire holiday worrying about your children feeling afraid and alone, believing you were the one who ruined it. Either way, you lose. The kids lose. You try to strategize in your mind, your very traumatized mind. You take too long to decide. You don't know what to do. You feel sick. You go to the bathroom. The bathroom was a safe place for you to go to think, to gather your strength and thoughts, to come back to the present. You are so grateful for the bathroom. You come out and hear the garage. He left. He took your babies and left. You cannot believe he would do this. How scared they must be in the car. All you can do is sit there. You feel as if you are going crazy. Mostly you're worried for your kids, the look on their little faces. You could feel the fear and uncertainty in them. You let them down. This will never happen again. So you sit there and think about every possible scenario, and they all are terrible. You just want to leave. You want to go and pick them up and bring them home. This isn't okay. You get in your car and decide to pick up your children. You start to drive, but then the fear hits you. You're suddenly unsure. What if showing up makes everything worse? What if there's no one there to support you if he starts an argument? Who would step in? Who would protect you and your kids? What is the best choice for your children's safety? Your thoughts are spinning out of control. Maybe waiting is the safest option. So you turn around, drive home, and park. Not long after the garage opens, your babies are home. And in that moment, you know this wasn't about the trip. It was about teaching you a lesson. Lesson learned. You feel a massive sense of relief. They are home with you. You want to sob, but hold yourself together so you don't scare them. A part of you also doesn't want to give him the satisfaction of seeing just how terrified you were. You know that showing fear only fuels him, and you cannot risk him doing this again. Your kids seem nervous. They seem sad. Their faces look blank and unsure. They feel bad for you. What an awful position to put them in. You feel guilty. Your mind wanders again. Are they okay? They didn't deserve this. This is their family holiday too. Just as you pull your children close on the couch and feel a small wave of relief, you hear heavy footsteps approaching and sense an imposing figure behind you. Turning around slowly to face him, you immediately see that he is angry. The eyes. They are large and so cold. Furious. You want to disappear. Your body feels light, unreal, like you're floating outside yourself. He asks where you went. You don't understand. You are blindsided. You hesitate. He is so angry, he asks again, louder this time, demanding to know where you went. Your mind freezes, but then you figure it out. He knows you left the garage. But how? Oh no, here it comes. You immediately tell the children to please go upstairs. Before they can move, he erupts. You were set up. He put something under your wheel. He knew you left. You feel trapped, hopeless, alone. The world collapses. Whatever you say now will not be believed. It is best to bow down. Again. I want to pause here. Please breathe with me. My body hurts. My chest feels tight. I'm sweaty. My mind is reacting, remembering things. If your body is reacting too, please know that's normal. Trauma memories live in the body. I'm going to stay present. Please stay with me. Did any part of that scenario sound familiar to you? Have you lived through something similar? If you have, I am so sorry. Please hear this. You are not alone. You are incredibly strong. When a person is living in survival mode, life is hard. Being forced to make decisions based on your best odds of safety is not normal, and it is not fair. Considering how hard it is to think clearly during trauma, survivors rarely give themselves the credit they deserve. We've survived moments no one should ever have to navigate, and this life of fear and constant calculation, this is not what life is meant to feel like. It is not how anyone is supposed to live. We weren't born to bow down. We deserve so much better. Our children deserve better. For countless abuse survivors, including children, the holidays are not magical. They are heavy. They are frightening and overwhelmingly stressful. And the heartbreaking truth is, most people never notice. Survivors learn to perform, smiling, pretending to be in love, showing the world a version of life that feels safer to present than the truth. Many times, the only happy families they see are the ones in commercials, pretending everything is perfect. Or the curated photos on social media, or the holiday cards pinned to the fridge. What if the extra time together doesn't bring joy? What if it brings danger, fear, and unpredictability instead? Have any of you ever wished there were no holidays at all? No long weekends? No extra time at home? Because extra time at home means extra time with the person hurting you? I understand, and I am sorry. These feelings are very real. They are honest, and they are shared by so many adult and child survivors each holiday season. More time together can bring dread instead of joy. Routines fall apart, and celebrations turn painful or frightening. And that is not fair. Everyone deserves safety and love during the holidays, something survivors are too often denied. In abusive homes, many times the closest thing to peace is when the abuser is away at work. That is the only routine survivors can count on, and holidays take that away. They force togetherness in a home where togetherness is dangerous. They force emotional and physical intimacy in a relationship where many times it is neither safe nor wanted. Think about this. Domestic violence incidents rise at this time of year by as much as 20%, and that is only what is reported. Remember, half of domestic violence incidents go unreported. That is terrifying. Just hearing that information can make your body respond. Have you noticed stomach pain or tightening, migraines, or nausea around this time of year? Your chest may feel heavy and your breathing might change. Feeling overwhelmed, detached, or even dissociated is also very common for survivors during the holidays. That's because survivors don't just hold fear in our minds. We hold it in our bodies, and it builds. With all of that in mind, I want to talk honestly about the pressures survivors, especially protective parents, face. The pressures that make staying through the holidays feel like the only option. Survivors spend every day assessing danger, not only for themselves, but especially for their children. That weight is heavy, and it makes the holidays feel especially dreadful, even impossible at times. It becomes hard to stay hopeful. Many survivors feel trapped, torn, and pressured to stay during the holidays in ways most people will never understand. One main reason we stay is simply the danger of leaving. For survivors and children, the moment of leaving is statistically the most dangerous time. It is a step that demands planning, support, and serious caution. During this season, an abuser may be home more often, which can make planning an escape incredibly hard and sometimes more dangerous. Being aware of this is essential, and so is being gentle with yourself while you take the time you need to plan safely. Please remember, there is never a perfect time to leave. There will always be reasons not to. You deserve to make decisions in your own time, in the safest way possible for you and your children. But safety isn't the only pressure survivors carry during the holidays. Another extremely common reason survivors stay is the desire to give their children a good family Christmas. Survivors carry enormous pressure in these situations to try and provide their children with a magical and joyful holiday, to offer even a glimpse of normalcy inside an unstable home. We feel responsible for holding the holiday together, and it's exhausting. Abusers often take advantage of this pressure, manipulating us by claiming they've changed, or promising better behavior or extra gifts. And because our children mean everything and we want so badly to shield their holiday, we cling to those promises, even when we know very well that they are temporary. We want our children to feel love, stability, and tradition, and many times we will gladly sacrifice our own safety to provide it. Holidays are a perfect time for abusers to assert extra control over the finances. Often, there are promises of extravagant gifts for children, only to twist them to control and criticize you. No matter what you do, it feels wrong. Too much shopping, too little shopping. Every choice becomes a trap. You just cannot seem to get it right. Shopping with them is the only safe option. It is also yet another way to make sure you never have a moment to yourself. It can feel very suffocating. Many times, they will control the money if they don't already, which makes leaving during this time extremely difficult. On top of that, the pressure to appear happy and pretend your family is close and healthy becomes overwhelming. Holidays are when abusers expect quite a performance. That fake smile, the perfect attitude, the perfect lie that everything at home is loving and safe. You are expected to perform even if the abuse happened right there in the car, with your children watching, listening. Moments before you're supposed to walk in and smile for family and friends, you're expected to pull yourself together immediately. So you wipe the tears, quickly calm the panic, and hide the shame. You clear every sign of the truth, and then you step into the role they demand. You're expected to play it perfectly. And if you don't, you may be accused of being too sensitive and ruining the holiday. Imagine the pressure. Some survivors, including children, are completely isolated during the holidays. During this time, abusers may push to make their own family traditions, using that as an excuse to cut the extended family out entirely. This is strategic, and abusers will twist it into something that appears to be very loving. Suddenly, they want family traditions. They want memories. They want togetherness. And if you push back, you may be blamed for not caring enough about the family or ruining the holiday for everyone. If that tactic doesn't work, they may sabotage the gathering altogether by embarrassing you, picking a fight right before you're supposed to leave, or making sure you show up late enough to cause tension or shame. Many times abusers will create tension with your family on purpose, especially with the people you are closest to, until gatherings become uncomfortable or unsafe, until you start to dread them, not because of your family, but because of how your partner will behave. This is intentional, driving a wedge between you and the people who love you. It is clever because it makes you less likely to reach out for support from those you trust most. And often, this wedge can last for years, leaving you with fewer and fewer safe connections to turn to. Isolation is one of the most powerful tools of abuse. If faith or religion is a part of your life, that can also be used against you, especially during the holidays. The demand to forgive is overused by abusers anyway, but around the holidays, religious language may be weaponized to make you feel guilty or ashamed of yourself. You may be told you need to forgive, that family is everything, or that you're the one failing your faith if you set boundaries or protect yourself. This isn't spirituality. This is manipulation. And it can leave survivors feeling torn between their safety and their beliefs. Please remember you are not a bad person if you choose not to forgive abusive behavior. You are not failing your faith by protecting yourself. Setting boundaries is not a sin, and you are not breaking any spiritual rule by choosing to spend time with a family who loves you. For many survivors, the pressure doesn't stop there. It follows you into your home. If you're hosting, everything must be spotless. The home becomes a display. Every room, every decoration, every belonging arranged to create the illusion of success, comfort, and control. There are always conditions in an abusive relationship, but around family, those rules sharpen. You must stay quiet. You must not slip. When an abuser feels threatened, when they sense you might be pulling away, they often respond with big, impulsive purchases. Sometimes it's a new car placed under joint credit, a major purchase, or a long-term contract in both of your names. These actions are intentional. They create financial barriers that make separating from the relationship far more difficult. This is very strategic, and it is just another tactic to trap a person. Please know it is not love. It is not kindness. It is manipulative and confusing. Abusers will often encourage survivors to spend their money for the kids. It sounds loving on the surface, but it's a tactic. It's strategic. The more you spend, the less you have, and the harder it becomes to leave. Abusers know this. They may coerce you to drain your savings or pressure you into opening credit cards you can't afford, all in the name of gifts, decorations to show off, or creating a holiday experience that benefits their image, not your children's well-being. Please be careful. You may feel pressure to spend more than you can, especially for the kids. If you can, try to protect any emergency savings you have, and be cautious about opening new credit in your name just for the holidays. Your safety and your ability to leave when it's safer to do so matters more to your children in the long run than any one day of presents. The nostalgia of the holidays can blur the bigger picture or the long-term plan you're working toward, your freedom and your safety. And the pressure doesn't only come from intimate partners. For many survivors, it also comes from the families we were born into, the families who raised us, shaped us, and in some cases, hurt us. The holidays can bring complicated, painful dynamics with abusive family members too. And for many adult survivors, this pressure can feel just as heavy, sometimes even heavier than what they experience with a partner. Just like with partners, survivors are expected to keep the peace, smile, and show up even when it's unsafe, unhealthy, or re-traumatizing. I want to be very clear about this. No abusive or neglectful family member suddenly earns access to you just because it's the holidays. If they haven't given you love, time, or respect throughout the year, you are not required to give them your holiday. Choosing distance, setting boundaries, or going no contact is not selfish. It's healthy, it's protective, and you are allowed to do it. Sometimes the hardest relationships to navigate are the ones tied to our childhood. Parents, siblings, relatives who have caused harm or continue to be abusive. If this sounds familiar, please hear this. You are not wrong for choosing distance. You are not unkind, dramatic, or selfish for missing an event, or for choosing yourself over maintaining a relationship that hurts you. Boundaries are not a betrayal. You are not required to expose yourself to people who have harmed you. You don't have to sit at tables where you are disrespected. You don't have to carry guilt for protecting yourself. You are allowed to protect your mental health and your peace, even if it means not going, not calling, or going fully no contact. Please don't feel guilty. And if abusive family members reach out during the holidays, it doesn't mean they've magically changed. It doesn't mean they've reflected, taken accountability, or finally understood the pain they caused. A holiday greeting is not an apology, and it's not growth. The holidays don't suddenly transform abusive people into safe ones. You deserve so much better. You deserve safety, comfort, and warmth from the people around you every day, and especially during the holidays. And for many survivors, especially those raised in religious homes, the messaging around family and obedience can make this even harder. In very religious families, you might have been raised to believe that honor thy parents meant accepting whatever treatment they choose to give. You may have been told that their behavior was discipline, something done for your own good, out of love, and that you somehow deserved it. If you were abused and grew up hearing those messages, I am sorry. That is very confusing. I encourage you to seek out information and support so you can reclaim the ability to distinguish between discipline and control, between guidance and harm. Wanting respect, safety, and freedom from harm does not make you disobedient, unfaithful, or ungrateful. It makes you human. Abuse is not discipline, and love is not supposed to hurt you. I know for some of you that clarity came only after leaving, only after getting some distance. So I want to speak directly to those who have already left an abusive relationship, because the holidays can be especially confusing. Old habits, old traditions, and old emotional patterns can tug at you. You may be pressured or tempted to spend the day together out of guilt, loneliness, or even a longing for what you wished the relationship could have been. It is human to grieve the version of the relationship you hoped for, not the one it actually was. Please know this is very normal. These feelings are not signs that you have made the wrong choice by leaving. Abusers often manipulate emotions and coincidences, framing them as signs or proof that you were meant to be with them. But that's not intuition. That's conditioning. Intuition protects you. Conditioning keeps you stuck in their cycle. Please remember this. Write it down if you want to. Missing someone does not mean they were safe or healthy for you. Feeling lonely does not mean going back will make you feel less alone. And guilt is not a sign that you owe them access to you. You left for a reason. Please don't second guess yourself. Trust yourself even though you have been taught not to. You are intelligent. You are aware. You are healing. You do not owe your abuser a holiday meal, a phone call, or a single moment of your time. You are building a new life, and you are allowed to protect it. Your healing deserves the chance to continue without being pulled back into the cycle of abuse. Please try to focus on spending this holiday in peace, even if that peace feels unfamiliar, quiet, or new. Before I go on, I would like to pause. I want to slow down, calm our nervous systems, and ground ourselves before we continue. If it feels okay, place a hand on your chest, or your stomach, or your lap, anywhere that helps you feel connected to your body. Close your eyes if you'd like. Please take a slow breath in and hold it gently. Let it out. Relax your shoulders. Let your jaw soften. Remind yourself that you are safe in this moment. We deserve moments like this, moments when our bodies can rest, even for a few minutes. This is how we can love ourselves. Please breathe. Holidays are supposed to bring families together. They are supposed to be shared with those you love most and who love you in return. And I am so sorry if that is not your experience this year. Please remember, there is always hope. Never give up. If you are surviving abuse today, if you have escaped it and are rebuilding, if you are an adult child refusing to pass that pain into the next generation, or if you are watching someone you love be taken from you, please know this. You are not alone, not one of you. There are millions of survivors around the world right now who understand precisely what you are feeling. The frustration, the fear, the anxiety and uncertainty, the sadness. You are not alone in this. Nothing about your situation means that you are flawed or to blame. You are not broken, and you are not wrong. You are navigating something incredibly hard, and that takes intelligence, strength, and courage. If you have been told that you don't matter, please know that you do. If you have been shamed, remember that you have nothing to be ashamed of. If you've made choices to keep the peace, Whether in a relationship, in your childhood home, or even after leaving, please understand you did the best you could with what you had, and you can let that go. Push back against the self-doubt that was placed inside you. That voice was built in you by someone else, not you. And whisper if you need to, I am worthy of love. This may feel uncomfortable. Let it settle. You are worthy of healthy love. Remind yourself and speak out loud, I deserve safety. Not someday, right now, as you are, and you don't have to earn it by paying a price. Tell yourself, I deserve peace. Not fear, not uncertainty. Peace. And finally, speak this to yourself like you are speaking to someone you love. I deserve love that doesn't hurt. Because you do, and you always have. And because none of the harm done to you has ever changed your worth. Positive self-talk works. Remember, no matter what anyone has told you, you deserve a life that feels safe and gentle, and that is yours. I want to thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for taking the time to support this mission, our mission. I know it is yours too. I hope that something you heard today helped you feel a little more hopeful, or a little less alone, or a little more informed. Please, if someone you know is struggling, consider passing this episode along. We are simply trying to help people feel seen, understood, and supported in a reality that can feel unbearably isolating. I want to remind you that you're helping me heal too, and I thank you for that. You're helping me grow and create new traditions of my own. I'm learning right alongside you. I need support just as much as you do. We need each other. Surviving abuse, from the earliest warning signs to the crisis moments, to the courage it takes to leave, and then the long ongoing process of healing, none of it happens alone. It all requires community, compassion, and understanding. And if you are someone supporting a survivor, you deserve that same support and understanding too. Here at Hang In There, you all have our full attention. You have our respect. We offer you kindness, compassion, and a place where you can show up exactly as you are, because you are a human being who deserves all of that. And I really hope that you can feel each of those things every time you listen. Please take gentle care of yourself. You matter in this world. Your feelings matter. Surviving is not something you have to face alone. We are here, beside you, believing in you, sending strength your way every step of the way. Hang in there. You are not alone. Not during the holidays, not ever. You are beautiful. Thank you for listening.